You will all recall that way back in October 2021, the panel on 2020, the panel on NSAS was set up all over the Federation, about 28 states, in Lagos inclusive. But the terms of reference of the panel in Lagos was extended to include an investigation into what we believe is the massacre of people, protesters, NSAS protesters, the Sorosoke people at the Lekki toll gate, Admiralty Way toll gate on 20th, the evening of 20th October 2020. Of course, the government countered that by saying, including, when you say government, we mean Lagos State government, we mean the military of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They contend nothing like that happened, that in fact, the first said the soldiers were not there. Later they said there are fake soldiers who were there. Later they said, well, the soldiers were there, but they were there with only blank bullets and all that. But later they had to admit under cross-examination before the panel, because they appeared initially before they ran away, that actually they also carried live bullets, ammunition. And you will recall that quite a lot of parties had appeared before this panel in respect of the investigation into the Lekki incident. And when we talk of parties, we mean the NSAS protesters themselves, we mean the military, we mean the police, we mean the Lagos State government itself, which sent its head of service, Akim Muri-Okunla Esquire, to appear. Where we have the LCC itself, where the theater, or what we call it the crime scene, they like to call it incident scene, whichever they were the locale, they provided the locale where the incident happened. Then we have the forensic experts, one from Lagos State, one by the panel itself. All these bodies, of course, I think there was this evidence again from the advertising agency that came. The pathological report of Professor Bafunwa is also there. Now, we've been clamoring, knowing that the task before the panel is so enormous and unique in the sense that they are bifurcated. They have one for the general NSAS brutality, that is the SARS brutality by the police, the normal, usual, and which is still continuous till today, as you have seen on the Kogi episode and all that. That one is there. And then, of course, also the issue of the fact of the shooting is there. And we know that there's no way 6 months could be okay for this panel. And we approved, but even before anything, the government itself realized this and extended it by 3 months to lapse in July 2021. But we knew that it is not possible. Any reasonable, well-meaning, fair-minded, objective-minded person who has been following the progress of the panel will know that this singular panel, starting with these two great tasks, and sitting in Lagos, the state with the hugest population, there is no way that this panel could do this work. So many petitions, about 335 petitions and other. Some other states have 75, 65, 25 and other. But this is Lagos State. And we advised and we pressed. And they will not listen. They said, no, by July 19 or whatsoever, that is the deadline. You will recall, just to end of the press, we did a press conference here and we alerted the whole nation as to the necessity for an extension of the life of the operation of this panel for 6 months to terminate by January 2021. In fact, we were forced to boycott the sittings of the panel. Despite us, they went on. We said we cannot be persuaded. We don't want to be rubbished, so that it will not be a situation of being foisted with a fait accompli of where we are accomplices. So we left their panel and they continued, but later they necessarily saw reason. And they made an extension of 3 months from July to end by October 19. Again, we addressed the panel, we addressed the press conference that this thing cannot work. This thing cannot work. Agents of government, lawyers of government, they are opposed to us. They said, no, we are rabble rousers, we are just trying to cause commotion, raising crime wolf. Where was this? No, but this is not rocket science. This is just simple, common sense logic, obtainable to anybody who is just fear-minded. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that this panel just cannot cope within the time frame. If they do whatever they wanted to do this morning, October 20 is for there to come and convene and announce an extension. Lagos State government cannot hide and say there's nothing to be done. And the panel itself should be self-respecting. They should put their feet down. The plan is to rubbish them and their good name. There's quite a very quality people on that panel, particularly the leader, Mrs. Kuobi. At almost 17, she's been working very hard, very industrious. Perhaps the business person on that panel, everybody's been there. You can, and they sit very long hours. So that's our very first demand. So that this, and that's the only demand, that it is nonsensical to say that at the end of the day it's inconclusive. The panel is going to submit a report secretly in one special ceremony to the governor. So whatever the finding becomes a gubernatorial declaration. No, it is a party. The government of Lagos is a party. We want to hear the verdict from the panel. And Moyosoro Onigbanjo saying the Attorney General of Lagos State should know better than this. We expect and we believe that a fine gentleman like that will advise the government to do the needful. Nigeria may be going bananas, but Lagos says it's the center of excellence. This is not excellent. This is not even good. This is not even fair. This is not right. So our demand is that there must be an extension for the panel to do its work. If they say 3 months is too great for them, what about a month? What about 3 weeks? Quality time for them to do the job. And this is what it will earn the respect of the citizens. People do make mistakes. People are in error. And even a whole country, they do apologize. I think Japan did that. Was it an emperor or somebody? The people, America apologize that we are sorry. And not that kind of. You want to now do the needful as to assuage the feelings of people, but to continue to use what we call boldface. Or we are being stronger than we are government. No, we are citizens, we are not subjects, and we are not making a plea of begging. It's a demand. It's within our rights. We lost people there to death, to injury, to loss, and we are saying that a panel should not be a decoration table. This is our demand, an extension. If otherwise, it will be deemed as Lagos State government has reduced itself to a farrago of nonsense. And the panel must reject that and clear their own name.